Hey, Mr. Shane.
Hey, Mrs. Sandra.
Look at us all giggles today. Giggles is going to be your name.
We're going to have a fun day. We're going to have a great day. So, welcome to the next episode of the FAX. Here we are. Where we are at?
We're at Noble Grape over here in Dartmouth because I like wine.
We all like wine. Well, who doesn't like wine?
I know. I like wine, chocolate, and shoes. We all know that about me right now.
Yes. So we're here at Noble Grape in Dartmouth. We're about to go in and meet the manager of Noble Grape, talk about wine. So we're really excited about this.
I like how you do me like you're whining. Because he does it really well.
Whatever, you never hear me whine. I never whine. So we're going to go inside and hopefully sample. We're going to be drinking in here.
No, we're working.
You're driving, so I can drink all I want today.
But can I say one thing though?
Yes.
See this?
Yes.
No mittens.
No mittens. Perfect spring day. The weather is awesome. So again, welcome to the next episode of the FAX. We're going inside.
Woo!
Come on in.
Yay! So we're here with Steve Crane. Thank you so much, for taking the time to see myself and Shane today. Absolutely. So what can you tell us about Noble Grape? How long have you been around? The whole nine years.
Whole nine. So Noble Grape was actually started in an earlier iteration called Brewing Centers by two brothers, born and raised local, and they just had a passion for homemade beer and homemade wine, and so they took that, and then over time, over the course of 20 years, it's evolved into 6 shops in the HRM.
There's that many now?
Yeah, one in Colebrook and actually one in Fredericton as well.
Really? Oh, I didn't know they expanded. Okay.
Really taken off, but purely local company that has just become the leader in the industry.
And you know what? Everybody likes wine.
Absolutely, that's something that we've proven.
I think I have over the course of time. Anyway, so what can a person expect? Like when they come into Noble Grape, what kind of items can they purchase? Is it just wine?
It's wine, it's beer, it's cider as well.
Now when did you guys start doing beer? Because that's all new for this, right?
For the on-site it is. So there's 2 style of customer that we have coming in. We have the at-home brewer that has all the equipment set up, and the beer has taken off more so on that end over the past 20 years. Yeah. But then also we've had the ability to do on-site brewing. So wine.
I didn't know you guys did that because I just thought it would have, because that'd be painful for me, like to bring it home and I have to bottle it at home as well?
Bottle at home, filter, process, transfers, a little bit of lifting, a little bit of lugging.
So you can keep it all easy for me?
We can keep it all easy. So all we need to do is day one, we'll put the kit together. We just help you choose the kit. We'll put it all together. All you need to do is sprinkle a yeast pack, and then we'll set up an appointment for about a month in the future. You just need to come back and bottle. We take care of all the in-between processing.
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. So all the lifting, all the filtering, all the lugging, all the wine on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, ruining the kitchen towels, which I'm guilty of, absolutely. That all goes away. We have all the infrastructure set up to make it as easy as a process as we can.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. So let's just walk around the store so you can show me a few items. So we have this over here. So what is this when people are coming in?
We have a really big summer coming up. So every summer we tend to put our selection series, and they are one of our higher quality kits. All summer we put on the entire line, and month by month we tend to focus on certain kits. So this year is the best seller list is what we're looking at. So it's the classics if you think of your literature and your fictions. So we're going to have in whites an Australian Chardonnay, which is one of our most classic. Selection, the Italian Pinot Grigio, which is one of our best selling kits across the board. And then going into the reds, we have our Chilean Pinot Noir, a Chilean Merlot, which is a really great becoming region, and then the Australian Shiraz, which is just a standard in the industry.
Nice. Okay, let's just walk on down here and see what's happening. So this is, I guess, when people are coming in with the beer, like that's what these racks are for here?
These racks, these are actually a great system that have come in called the fast racks. They're great for storing, drying, and washing your bottles.
Okay.
I also like them as I'm bottling beer. I'm very passionate into beer as well. They are a great storage and accessibility when I'm bottling because you want to have a really smooth, streamlined process on it.
Okay. I saw this here and I giggled. In Newfoundland, we have the ugly stick.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of it, but they use beer caps, and it's like a mop head, and they always use it like at during Christmas time when we have the music. And so you just shake it, and like, because all the beer caps would make a noise, almost like a tambourine.
Oh, like a rain stick, yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I thought it was cute. And love the sippy cup for
The
grown-ups.
sippy cup for grown-ups, they have become very popular. And also great going into summertime. They're wonderful. Just so you don't need to worry so much about being outdoors with your wine or being too careful with it as well.
Absolutely. So we have this here, the nitwit. That kind of made me laugh.
The nitwit. So the best case line is actually something developed by a Noble Grape section.
Okay.
Section of Noble Grape Company, or Best Case Wholesaling.
Yeah.
These are great beers for the at-home brewer. It's a little bit more hands-on. You do a small mini boil on the stove. There's a little bit of hops that go into it, a little bit of grain. So it's getting people thinking about the process. And the nitwit specifically, every year Garrison does a home brew off. So home brewers, they brew a style.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's actually a really great community event.
Okay.
This year was an IPA, but back in 2009, I believe, 2010, they did a wit, a Belgian style wheat beer, and the nitwit was the winner, and we loved it so much that we worked with them.
So this would be something that someone would have at home, then obviously for our home brewing?
Yes, this is actually a great system that they came out with. It's a conical fermenter, it's a single stage. What that means is with beer, you want to limit the interaction with oxygen.
Yes.
And so you don't need to do any transferring in the middle of it. It's all wall mounted, so it's a single stage. You can just do it all in one shot.
Okay.
And it works really great coming into our Festa brews, and these are the beers that we do on site.
How long does it take for beer?
For beer, it's 2 weeks for beer to ferment, and then 2 weeks in bottles to what's called bottle conditioning, basically to create the carbonation.
Okay. I got a question for you. I saw this over here, so it's not just about beer and wine, but if I'm correct, this over here, if I wanted to make my own butterscotch schnapps, I can do that too?
Yes, so in Canada, it's legal to ferment up to 18.5%.
Okay.
So with these flavorings, you can ferment 18.5, or what people will do is they will purchase an amount of neutral alcohol or a vodka, and then flavor it with these flavors. This is the bottling station, and this is the heart and soul. This is where it all happens. So it's a double bottle filler, it's a pneumatic corker, it's such a smooth, simple process.
Yeah.
So we have the wine all taken care of, it's all fixed up. You can put your 2 bottles in, you hit the start button, and now you're bottling your wine. One press, tops up, counts down from 24, it automatically stops as well. The corker itself is a pneumatic corker.
Yeah.
So once the bottle's full, pop your bottle in. When the screw hits the tab, and you're done your bottle of wine.
Now, you know how they talk about wine, that you buy in stores and whatnot, that as it ages, it's better?
Absolutely.
Would you consider this the same as well?
I absolutely would. The analogy I use, it's a green banana versus a ripe banana. The flavors are there, they're a little bit sharp, they're a little bit muted or green, but over time it smooths out and becomes very rich, especially with your heavy oak reds tend to take the longest time, and your sweeter whites tend to be easy to drink out the gate.
Okay.
But someone once said to me in a great way that the first bottle of wine that you drink will never be the same as the last. Over time they will smooth out and the flavors will be more pronounced.
Okay. Good stuff. And so down here then, I guess, is where everybody stores their wine.
Yeah, so the ones on the shelf here, these are the ones that we have filtered and ready to go, and over the next couple of days, we're going to be having people in the vault.
Okay.
So these are the ones that are set to go. And then coming down into the back area, this is actually our processing facility. So it starts out in the buckets for a couple weeks, then we'll transfer and rack it over into our carboys, and so that's when stabilization, we degas, so it turns out as sharp as possible, and then from there we'll filter, and then we'll take out all the sediment, any sort of extra particles into it, so you get the crispest, clearest wine.
Nice. Love the process, and again, I think it's great that I can do it here, as opposed to bringing it home and trying to work through that, because that would be painful in my world.
And with the on-site, it's opened up a whole new idea of clientele as well. People who are looking for a really great product, having it handy, getting more into the culture, but might not have the space or the inclination or the time to really do it. So it's made brewing significantly more accessible, which is what I think.
And I think that's fantastic. So what do we have over here?
So here we have a Vintners Reserve Sauvignon Blanc kit. Vintners Reserve, they're our flagship brand. So we are an official Wine Expert retailer. Wine Expert is the leader in homebrewing kits across the world. So the Vintners Reserve, they're a combination of California and Washington grapes, and we have certain kits like the selections we were talking about. We can get more region specific. I love the California region, California, Washington, Pacific Rim, very fruit forward,
Yes.
lovely and tropical. Thanks for checking out the Noble Grape video. Here at Noble Grape, we will always price match a competitor. We also have a 100% winemaking guarantee. So if for any reason you are not satisfied with your product, we will swap out, get you a new kit. The worst thing for us is you having 30 bottles of something you don't enjoy, and the worst thing for you is having 30 bottles of wine you can't drink. If you have any more questions, check us out online at noblegrape.ca, and happy brewing!
Alrighty, for the next adventure.
Next section of our alcohol adventure build day.
Beer. Are we having Black Horse? Because that's my beer.
I'm not sure. I'm new to the craft beer. I'm a beer drinker and a wine drinker. I actually purchased some craft beer a few days ago just to give it a try. It was kind of pleasantly surprised. So I'm very new to this. I'm really excited to go
Yes,
and
we are.
Garrison's Brewery down on Marginal Road, downtown Halifax.
And it's still a little bit cold.
It is cool today.
I know,
It is
it
kind
better
of
warm up.
deceivingly cool because the sun is shining, the skies are blue.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
It does look warm, but it's not. It's kind of
Woohoo!
cool.
Okay, let's do this.
Inside we go. All right,
Awesome.
let's go. All right, very excited about today. Here with Christian from the Garrison Brewery, and Christian's going to kind of talk to us a little bit about craft beer and what craft beer is all about. Popularity is certainly shaking up. I am new to craft beer, like I said earlier, so I'm really intrigued about finding out a little bit more. So tell us about craft beer. Tell us about the Garrison.
Well, I mean, craft beer is sort of just bringing beer back to its roots, back to using real ingredients, back to using like proper hops, malted grains, clean water, that sort of thing. Staying away from some of those nasty preservatives and ingredients that for more or less just really shouldn't be in beer.
Right on, right on. So somebody who was new to craft beer and was coming to the Garrison, what can they expect?
Craft beer.
Good answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've got some merch for sure. We like to have a knowledgeable staff for the most part. Every now and then you might grab somebody new who doesn't really know.
Yeah.
There's usually someone who can help them out.
Awesome.
But beer. That's the goal.
How many options would there be? I see a lot of the taps up there, and
Sure.
so if somebody was to come. The amount of selection.
You can be. I mean, as it is right now, we've got 10 on tap.
Okay.
11 if you want to count our cider.
Ooh, cider.
It's made from Bulwark,
Okay.
the local cider. They give us the juice, we carbonate it, and then we throw it on the tap.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's nice to have options for the gluten-free folk too.
Yes.
But yeah, no, plenty of beer, and we do tasters, small glasses, $2 a glass. That way you can, try a little bit of everything,
Yep.
and you're not going to leave too wobbly.
Yeah. So you brew obviously this is a brewery, so
Yes.
you brew stuff here. So
Yep.
why don't we just go into the process of that and kind of talk us through
Sure, yeah.
that process?
Everything starts, in raw form, outside that big silo that's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
That's full of two-row pale, and that would be the malt that we use the most of in our brewing. So everything starts as a grain. That comes in, we chew it up, and then we boil it and agitate it, and that's where you get your sugar.
We're going to go inside there in a minute just to kind of get a closer look at what's going on in the process in there. So so let's go inside and see the process inside. We're now back. I don't know. Do I call this the kitchen? Do I call this the brew factory? Or
Yeah.
what do I call this area?
Big industrial beer kitchen.
Big industrial beer kitchen.
Yeah, why
Love
not?
it. Awesome. So talk me through.
Sure, yeah. So like I said, we start outside with the malt, with the grains. Comes in here,
Yep.
grind it up, and then from the bottom of this, we push it into the top of that. That's our mash tun. That's our brew kettle. Or sorry, not the brew kettle. That's mash tun.
Mash tun.
So that's where the beer gets, or the grain gets boiled and agitated, and that is how we get the sugar. Okay. And sugar is a very important sugar is a very important part of beer because that is what gives the yeast the fuel to build alcohol. Right. So after the mash tun, we filter the water out through the bottom, go into the brew kettle. Brew kettle is where you add your hops. Hops do three things for beer, really. They are the natural preservative used in brewing, so they're the preservative. They're also what gives beer the bittering agent. They are also what gives it that nice floral aroma on those nice hop-forward, the IPAs, our barley wine, stuff like that.
So start to finish, how long of a process is this to make one, let's say an IPA?
Sure, yeah. I mean, usually our brewing process is about 2 weeks, start to finish. Wow. That's boil to bottom.
Yeah. That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I see a lot of the flavored stuff. You got raspberry beer, you got orange flavored beer, you got chocolate flavored beer, you got potato chip flavored beer, all kinds. You guys do that here, right? Yeah. Not so much potato and chocolate flavored beer, but I mean, depending on what the brew is, we will use different ingredients. We do some tea. We've got a beer out right now called the Pucker Up. That's done with a pomegranate and a hibiscus tea, which is actually done in the boil. It's basically just steeped like a big tea. Wow. And then from there it gets fermented and then kegged, consumed. What would be the most popular right now?
Our best seller would be our Tall Ship. It's an easy drinking pale ale. It's got a very broad reach. Anybody can drink a Tall Ship. It's not going to be too bitter. It's not too sweet. It's not too heavy. But again, it's not too light either. It's still a very full-bodied, nice golden ale.
All right, so we're going to put a flight together. And I apologize. This is really my first time being here.
That's okay.
And after being here today, and again, this is the reason why we do this show, is kind of bring awareness to all these cool things in Halifax. Sure. And I love beer, so I'm hooked already. So this is a flight. So you're going to put together some samples for me to try.
Yeah. No, we're going to throw together our 5 core top sellers right now.
Awesome. Let's do it. So talk a little bit more about the Garrison. How long has it been here? When were you open, established? It is locally owned and operated.
Yes. Yeah. We are. We started up in 1997, and it's owned by Brian Titus. He's the president of the company. We've been. The goal was to just make a better beer than what you're finding in some of the. Talk bad of anybody, but a locally sourced craft beer as opposed to the big guys. So,
All right, let's get to it. Cool. I'm excited. All right, so I'm pretty excited about this. So let's start with, I guess, the end here. So tell me what this one is.
Well, we've got our beer set up, lightest to strongest flavor-wise, which is usually how we set these flights up, unless somebody specifically asks otherwise. So the Tall Ship, that's our best seller. It's an easy drinking, we call it our East Coast Pale Ale. Really nice, crisp and clean, well filtered, but still full of flavor.
Really nice.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a reason we sell more of that than anything else.
Wow, that is a really easy drinking beer.
Yep.
And next?
Yeah, next in line we've got our Irish Red. That's our flagship beer. This is the first beer we ever came out with back in 1997. It's an Irish-inspired red ale. A lot of caramel malt goes into that. So you're going to get that sort of caramel flavor, a little roasty. Really easy to drink.
This is opening me up to a whole new world. This is pretty special.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. All right, next up.
The Nut Brown. So that is a sort of an English-inspired brown ale. Even darker, roastier malts. So you're going to get sort of a coffee and chocolate kind of flavor from that.
Oh, nice.
Really still smooth. Nowhere on the bitter side. It is still going to be more malt forward than hop forward, definitely. And my personal favorite as well.
All right, next.
The next in line is our raspberry wheat.
Wow.
That is sort of a dessert beer. You could drink that near the end, but at the same time, on a hot day, it goes down easy. It's a pretty well filtered wheat beer, which is why you don't get that sort of haze and cloud you would normally see from a wheat beer. And it's infused with an all natural raspberry extract.
Oh, and you can really smell the raspberry.
It's in there, yeah.
This one could be trouble for me. I love raspberry. Oh, that's my favorite so far.
Oh, right on. Going back for seconds.
All right. And last but not least.
Last on the end here, we've got our
Fancy glass.
Our Imperial IPA. Yeah, it comes in the fancy snifter. If you're going to do it right. It's a very well hopped double IPA. So this one's going to be a little higher alcohol. That's at 8%. Pretty high in the bitterness that comes from the hops and the floral aroma on the nose as well. We actually won gold medal on this one.
Oh, really?
A few years back now.
The pressure's on for me to like this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
I'm not overly crazy for bitter beers. But,
honestly, of all of them, it will certainly be more of an acquired taste. But it's for the hop heads, the guys who like that really bitter.
Oh yeah. Actually, it's not bad.
There you go.
You can really taste. There's a bitterness comes in quickly after.
You didn't even make that sour face that we
No
sometimes
sour
see.
face.
That's awesome.
It wouldn't be my first choice, but it wasn't bad at all. Definitely, the raspberry was one, and the tall ship.
Excellent.
Very nice beer.
Great.
Well, so when somebody comes in here to order one of these to take home, how do you guys? I've seen a big thermos there, which I'm probably going to grab on the way out.
Yeah. That's a growler. So the whole point of the growler is a fresh draft. The kind of idea with that is it's best to drink within 3 days, but it will keep in the fridge for up to a week. Push it past that, you might lose a little carbonation.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole point is to have fresh draft, so you should drink it quick, right? So the big one is 2 liters. Generally, the glass jug's $10 for the bottle. 11 to 14 for the fill, depending on what you're looking for. And it's just a really great way to get fresh draft at home.
That's fantastic. So if anybody wants to find out more information about the Garrison and about craft beer, where can they go?
Well, you can check us out on Facebook, Garrison Brewing, or we do have a website, garrisonbrewing.com.
Awesome. So I'm going to finish the rest of these beers, but not in front of you guys. Thanks very much. Appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right, guys, there you have it. Another great episode of the FAX in the books. Well, we had a lot of fun today. As you can see, great businesses we showcased today. Big thank you goes out to the Garrison Brewery and the Noble Grape in Dartmouth. Great staff, great businesses, great products. We will be back many, many times to come for sure. So if you have a business that you would like for us to showcase, leave a comment down below, give us a call, send us an email. We want to hear from you. It's all about promoting the local businesses here in Halifax that help make the city so great. So on to the next one. We hope to see you on the next episode of the FAX. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye for now.